Welcome to another segment of the iBerkshire's Download, where we speak to the people behind projects that are making an impact in this county. Now, we all know what Habitat for Humanity does. They build homes. We've seen Jimmy Carter out there with the hammer and the nails. But here in the Berkshires, we have a somewhat different issue when it comes to housing. We have a very aging stock. 40% of the homes in Berkshire County were built before 1940, and 60% of the homes were built before 1960. At the same time, we have a skills gap in which we have a lot of jobs available, but we don't have people who have the right skills to take them. So Central Berkshire Habitat for Humanity is launching a program that really touches on both of those issues. So we're welcome Carolyn Valli here, Executive Director, who's going to tell us about this Build and Repair Corps. What is this?
So the Habitat Build and Repair Corps was really designed to answer those questions that you already pointed out. Elderly folks have a hard time getting those small repairs done. We have, in certain neighborhoods in our community, have 12.3% unemployment. So not only is there a skills gap, but there's an unemployment gap. And we started thinking about what would make a difference. So we are doing a Habitat Build and Repair Corps, which will allow people to come in and be trained for up to 10 and a half months. They'll get paid for their training. And then they'll have the option of either joining Habitat Build and Repair Corps to work for Habitat, or go into the building trades, or perhaps even going to the union. And we're waiting to hear right now from AmeriCorps, and we may be one of the only second pilots in the country where it's a reverse AmeriCorps, where you serve for 10 and a half months, and then at the end you also get an educational credit that you can use to go on and do advanced training in electrical, plumbing, contracting, because those are the jobs that really give you a living wage to support a family. Because a lot of the jobs that we have locally are not family support housing prices or job prices. So that was one part to help with the employment issue and the skills gap. But the other part is being able to go in and help neighborhoods revitalize themselves. Miss Mabel needs a new ramp, or she needs a grab bar in her shower so that she can be safe in her home. And just be able to look at it neighborhood by neighborhood and saying, let's put some sweat into this, let's put some energy into this, and let's really help bring up our entire neighborhood so everybody wants to live there. Because we think that the long-term impacts of housing, both on the psychological impacts of living in a better neighborhood, will be better once we actually start doing some of this work in neighborhoods. And the thing that I love about this particular program is it was all neighborhood informed. It wasn't like we just sat in an ivory tower and thought about this. It was residents talking to many, many residents about, what do you see the future for your community? What do you need in the community? And then really building that based on their input.
So there's really two aspects of this. Is you have the job training aspect. So what does this training entail? I mean, who's doing it? How often is it? How many people are involved?
So we expect there'll be about 35 hours a week, each week. And again, it's a paid training. And they'll be working with a combination of educational component. There's getting ahead, there's OSHA training, there's all the safety training that you need. We'll be working with Taconic Vocational School. We have our experienced licensed construction folks. We have contractors that are specialty that will come in and do lunch and learns or meet and greets to have them understand what it would take to be able to go into their industry, and also being able to do some specialized training. So say, for example, we get somebody that loves to climb on roofs and is really capable and can lift it. Well, they may do a sub-internship with another roofing company. But we will be maintaining their whole workforce development plan. And we have retired teachers from McCann that are working with us. Tom Meyer, who's our new Director of Construction Services. And we have an experienced AmeriCorps Vista that ran a repair program in Seattle, has joined our team, and she'll be overseeing the whole thing.
So when somebody goes through this training, what do they end with? You said there's an educational credit that they get?
Yep, there'll be an educational credit, there'll be certifications. We believe that many of them, provided that they follow the right pathway, because it's about really building skills. It's not about just filling a space. And they'll be building one project or another every single day. Because what we found is, there are people that enjoy sitting in a classroom and learning, but there are people that really do better by using their hands. So we might learn, this is how you do X, Y, Z in the morning, and then in the afternoon you put that into practice. So then after a week, there might be a project within the community that we actually then go go and do as a team, so that there's a team building, so you know what it's like to work, because construction is a lot about teamwork. If you've ever seen a professional construction team that has worked together for a long time, they don't even use words. It's like a choreographed dance. When we have volunteer roofers that come and do work for us, I'm always amazed. I'm like they're not even talking to each other and it's getting done. So it's learning how do you work with a team, and that's really important no matter what job you go into, is, you know, understanding the rules of employment and getting along with people and all of that. And that's a component of this work too. It's about the soft skills, the hard skills, the education skills, and the construction union is working with us on being able to provide 4-year journeyman and apprenticeships after the program as well. So they can go to the union trades, they can go to regular employers. I mean, it's going to be a great opportunity for people to make a substantial change in their lives.
Okay. And now the other aspect of it is the sort of the repair part in the neighborhoods, you know, for the aging housing stock. So how is this program, you know, going to start addressing those? So
one of the things that we'll be doing, and we'll be starting to take applications July 15th for actually repair projects. So depending on what the scope of the project is, for example, we would not be able to go in and do a foundation for somebody because that's a specialized skill that you need heavy equipment for. But if it's a smaller project, or if they are working with the city for one of the home funds, like ramps or things like that, we can partner with the city to help make that happen. So we'll be taking and bringing in a lot of applications. We'll look at where they're located, because part of the idea is to try to have some impact. So if there's like 3 houses on a street, that would probably be the first priority, because then we would be able to see a visual impact right away. We'll be filming, and we'll probably talk to Ryan about that afterwards. We want to film what that street looks like today. What does it look like when it's done? And then what does it look like a year from now? Because we have a theory that when you start making these changes, other things around it change, and it would be really great to visually document that. So we'll be taking applications for that. We have a selection team that's part of neighborhood residents that will help make, once we determine can we do the work, then the residents will help with the prioritization of it. So it's very resident involved.
Great. Now, earlier in the show, we teased you guys are building 4 homes in 1 week. So this is another new initiative, separate from the Build and Repair Corps. But can you tell us, how is that going to happen?
So the Home Builders Blitz is really, what we have found is contractors love to work with Habitat. It's a great brand. I mean, our brand is worth $16 billion. So a contractor that wants to work with Habitat gets to share a piece of that brand, which adds a lot of value. So what they get frustrated with sometimes is that we primarily work with our skilled construction team and volunteers. So if you're a professional that puts in windows all day, you really don't want to work with a volunteer, because you're thinking, I can get that done in a minute and a half, and it's taking them a half an hour. So nationwide, this started about 8 years ago, and a contractor came to Habitat and said, we want to do more. We want to build this impact up. We want to be able to get in there, get it done in a week, and move on. And we were like, well, how would that happen? And just let us go in and do it. Like, don't have us work with volunteers. So we were like, okay, we can probably make that happen. And we have this perfect opportunity with the Gordon Deming project, where we have this large space. So 4 of the houses will be available for contractors to work with. And Allegroni Construction and Tom Meyer from our office are coordinating all of the people that want to get involved in that. And it's a really great opportunity. They get recognized in Home Builders of America, which is a big nationwide production, not to mention the goodness of being able to say, I had an impact in housing in our own community. Because right now, Habitat, we're going to be the largest producer of affordable home ownership in the community.
Oh, wow.
A consultant just called me and said, do you know you're the only ones that are doing affordable home ownership? And I said, I kind of thought that, but it's nice to hear it from somebody else. So to have 6 units completed in a very short period of time. So the 4 will be the contractor builds, and then 1 will be the workforce development house. That's so that we can have a controlled environment to make sure that the people that are in the trainees are learning every single step along the way. And then the other one that we're very proud of is the women build house. So for the last 8 years, our affiliate has been doing very short period women built. And we started out with just a half a day 8 years ago, and now we were at the point of 45 days of women coming together to build, and they're like, but it's not long enough. So now they can help build one whole house together.
So, and
it's
how
really
many
exciting.
local contractors do you guys have doing this? Blitz?
I don't know all the
Yeah.
specifics of it because that's a different part of my team. I
Right.
should have thought to ask them. But I know at the moment we have at least 6. So, and then we have some great partners with LP Adams, Allegroni Construction, Parasol Heating and Cooling, Ram Electric, and all of those guys know that they can't do it alone either, but what they're doing is reaching out to the people they work with all the time saying, hey, join us in this. So if you're a contractor and you're interested in doing this, you can call our office at 442-3181, or you can call Allegroni Construction and ask for Joe Simon, and he'd be happy to hook you up. And there's a whole sponsorship package where you get a lot of publicity, and we'll feed you as well. So.
That's the important part.
The important thing, yes. You've been to Habitat things. There's never a Habitat thing that there's not food involved.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. These are 2 very interesting projects. Happy to share it and let people know about it.